One of the new features of our latest version of Probe is the ability to do diagnostic of signal versus signal. So now you can, instead of plotting all the signals versus time, you can now plot signal versus other signals. I just wanted to share that with you. So back to doing a diagnostic. As long as you click on any speed, right click, diagnostic, it creates a diagnostic. So it opens up a new window and a legend. In here will be all the collected signals: displacement, force, temperature, velocity. And initially they're all going to be displayed against time. However, I'm going to turn off temperature. We don't need that. However, instead of having time on the x-axis, you can actually put something else. So perhaps you choose force versus displacement, actually right now it's every signal versus displacement. So if I turn off displacement and velocity, there is force versus displacement. You can see it does give you every cycle, the beginning, the rod force, all of those things, but at least you can now look at force versus displacement, all the cycles. Another thing you can do using the diagnostic, whether you knew this or not, you could actually just pull up individual cycles. So this would be all the cycles from the 10-inch run, the 5-inch run, the 3-inch run, for example. They show up here, and if I turn off the first one, so now this will be all 3.5 cycles from the 3-inch per second run. So that sometimes can be very advantageous to see if your damper changed over the course of those 3 cycles. And basically, the graphs we normally let you look at, they only have the cycle that you chose to select. On the diagnostic, you get all the cycles of a given speed. So that's very powerful. And of course, you want to start to do some things like switch the axes so that you're now looking at perhaps displacement versus force. So you're now rotated the graph you've looked at all your life 90 degrees. I don't know that you'll get anything out of it, but it does exist. It is another way to look at the data. So keep that in mind. You can change the x-axis, and then you end up changing down here what's displayed on the y-axis so that you can use it to your advantage to look at your data more. Or in the case of this, you get to look at all 3 cycles of the run to make sure your damper got to equal operating conditions. It wasn't still building and it wasn't changing, which can be very detrimental to collecting. Some of the other things you can do in the diagnostic signal versus signal, and it's really about looking at the data differently to see if you can gain any further insight. We're all used to looking at force versus velocity in this case, but if we switch the axes, instead of force versus velocity, go to velocity versus force. I click that on, and of course it better be a straight line because we're same signal versus same signal. If I click on velocity and turn force off, now you can see instead of going top left through center to bottom right, we basically have inverted the axes, force and velocity, so that there's now elongated in the x-axis here. And I'm just looking at the 10-inch per second run, all of the cycles from that. And who knows, maybe somebody gets something out of this. Looking at it different, something shows up. Maybe we figure out a way to use this in the future to better understand our dampers. There you go. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, contact us using the information in the video description.